Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2018 Travelers Curling Club Championship from Miramichi, New Brunswick. And we're at the Miramichi Curling Club. My name is Keith Rains, and I'm in the booth tonight with Larry Flanagan. Glad to have you aboard, Larry.
Thanks, Keith. It's nice to be here. Really looking forward to this game. It looks like it's going to be a great one.
We have Ontario playing North Ontario. Ontario is a record of 2-1. And North Ontario is 1-2, but throw those records out the window. It's a battle of Ontario tonight.
Definitely.
And who do we have? Why don't you give out the...
Okay. Well, we have from, we see Ontario throwing first stone here. So from Ontario, we have Skip Matthew Dupree. Third is Terry Litsky. Second, John King. And Charles Wirt is their lead. And we're in the green and gold from Northern Ontario. We have Gary Weiss, we have Skip, Devin Surkan, Aaron Rogotsky is second, and Mark Beasley is their lead. So just underway here. It looks like we're going to be in for, like you say, the Battle of Ontario. I'm sure both of these teams would like to come away from here with nothing more than the bragg rights for sure, Pete. You see Northern Ontario drawn right around that guard put up by Ontario. Right to the top four.
Ontario defeated New Brunswick 6-5 in an extra end. Won 6-3 over the territories. Lost 7-5 to British Columbia to come up with their 2-1 record. Northern Ontario lost 8-7 to Saskatchewan, and then lost 6-4 to British Columbia, and then they came back today to win 7-3 over Newfoundland to give their 1-2 record. So they've got a win underneath their belt, and they would like to get to 500 if they can tonight.
I'm sure that's their goal, and I'm sure that just looking down across the sheets, there's lots of excitement out there. But in this game, like you say, this is a moving day, really, or a chance to get into position to make the playoffs. And I believe there's 2 pools of 7. So
yeah, I'll go down the records there once we get this shot completed by Beasley. His second shot, he went left to right the first time. Now he's coming in right.
Yeah.
Coming in right to left the second one. Very versatile player.
Yeah, through the outturn.
And another nice shot.
Good chance for the skip to see what the ice is doing.
Yeah, he's sitting too, right on top of his previous one. In Pool A, Larry, Manitoba is sitting at 4-0. Nova Scotia 3-1. Prince Edward Island 2-1. Alberta and the Yukon and Quebec are 1-2. And Nunavik is 0-4. In Pool B, British Columbia and Saskatchewan are 3-0. Ontario is 2-1. New Brunswick is 2-2. Northern Ontario, as we said, is 1-2. Newfoundland, Labrador 1-3, and Northwest Territories is 0-4. And that's where we stand in our standings. The top 3 teams, folks, will go on to championship play. First place team gets a bye into the semis, which is nice because that goes Friday night at 6:30. The quarterfinals will be 1:30 on Friday, and so if you don't have to play any extra games, like you say, Larry, the less is better, especially after you played 6 games through the week here. If there are tiebreakers needed, we will be playing them at 8:30 on Friday morning.
And as we said earlier, Keith, a week-long Bondsfield is a week-long marathon. So you've got to be up and ready and playing 2 games a day. It's a lot of work, especially for amateur curlers.
Yeah. That's usually playing like once or twice a week.
Yes, yeah.
With some recovery time. A lot of recovery time.
Yeah, a couple days recovery after each game. And, even to play an 8-end, 9-end game is rare at level. So
On Saturday will be Championship Saturday, and that gets underway at 9 a.m. For the bronze and gold medal games in the men and women. There's a nice shot taking out one of the Northern Ontario rocks. Northern Ontario has the red rocks.
So that was a great shot there by King from the second from Ontario. That now gives them more control of the house. And looks like Northern Ontario is going to put one on top of that again. So the whole idea is here early is to get your weight down and also just to get control of the house here, Keith, so that you're setting up the end to score a couple. It's like a lot of swing in the ice, especially from the hog line in.
Yeah.
That little tick won't hurt at all. Looks pretty well covered from up there. So again, we're going to call for an angle freeze here so that Ontario continues to control the front of the house. A lot of stones in play already.
Yeah. They must knew you were coming tonight there, so they,
Yeah, check on all my expertise.
all the different angles and nuances of the strategy.
The strategy, yeah.
In some cases, it's tragedy.
A lot of trauma. Or drama.
It is coming in. Nice shot. Oh, just a little tick there.
Yeah, it looked a little heavy.
Yeah.
It's not really what they wanted. But
it's your job, Larry, to remind me to switch the monitor. We have a monitor above us, and by switching it from one end to the other, it also switches the monitor downstairs.
Yes.
And if we don't do that, we have people running upstairs going, switch the monitor.
Get a little tap.
Yeah, but we get so immersed into the game because we have a great view from up here.
Perfect.
You know.
Yeah, right behind the sheet. Looks like we got another good shot here from Northern Ontario. We'll be moving a few stones around.
Good, takes that one out. I've been pretty fortunate today on this rink because any team that, like I said, had red on, they had the red stones. And like Manitoba played or Alberta played yellow, they had the yellow stone. I went, oh, this is good. Now this is a little tonight because now, but see, tonight we have Northern Ontario are green and gold, and they're red. And the red, black, and white of Ontario, they have yellow. So I know I'm gonna.
This one looks awfully tight.
Tight like a tiger. Tight.
Doesn't look like he's going to change his strategy.
Yeah. Boom, that goes out, and he's putting Northern Ontario in. So Northern Ontario's got 3 rocks in there, but they're only counting 1. They've got first, third, and fourth.
Conversation around the ice is really good, and the house is really lively, so a good chance to move some stones here. Looks like it's just drawing into a color. Maybe even setting it's in pretty good shape. It's sometimes hard to keep talking when you want to watch it.
Yeah. I wish that guy would say something. Oh, that's right. That's me.
Yeah, you get absorbed in
We're
the game.
just holding our breath. It's a little tap back. They try to push it back a bit farther, but now Northern Ontario is sitting 1 and 2.
Yeah, looks like Ontario's in a little bit of trouble here.
And Northern Ontario's got the hammer. Hammer time.
Yeah. So still a chance to get in there, I think. But it looks like Ontario's down to their skip stone, so he's going to move a little bit of granite here by the looks of this call, Keith. Throw a little bit of weight, get a few things moving, and see where everything falls. Yeah, I've been out curling a few times already, Keith, and once up and down the ice.
Once?
Time for a rest.
I like it. Lynchy? T-shirt on. He probably could play, in the frozen tundra of Green Bay.
Now he's just walking. So.
Yeah.
Stay right there. It's not moving a whole lot. Just like a fair shot.
Took one out. Yeah.
So Ontario
can draw in for 2.
Yeah.
Well, we get lots of rocks here left. But we're in skip stone. So here's our first skip stone for Northern Ontario.
Draw in there, but going out that wide early. I'm not sure if we know the weight, so. Ontario's certainly done what they wanted to. They've cut down the scoring area. Keith, the only place to score really is inside the 4 foot. So how does he get there?
And the thing is that these teams are not used to is the clock being on them.
Yeah.
And we ran into that situation last night for the first time. I mean, times we're getting down on others, but last night Newfoundland ran out of time.
Oh, really?
The ladies. And it was 6-3. I think they were playing Manitoba.
Yeah.
And it was a close game, and then Manitoba got 3. And Newfoundland had last rock, but they played a good 8th in, and there was 2 Newfoundland rocks, and in the middle, a little higher up, was the Manitoba rock, but easy takeout to get her 3. She's down here at this end. 47 seconds left to go on the clock, and we're going, what are you doing down here? Like, you should have been down. So she scurries down to her end. Time she gets down there, sort of gets in the hack. It's like 11 seconds. She does her routine, and they're going like, hurry. And by the time, she never got the rock away, and the time was out, but she threw the rock in, but she had rushed, and she missed the shot anyhow. But if she had had her normal routine, she would have had a good opportunity to tie the game and go to extra ends, but that's just not, we talk about in football clock management.
Yeah.
Well, that was a situation there that we saw it for the first time. And,
especially when you're, like you say, you're not used to playing with the clock.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of time, and
and everyone was sort of thankful. Said, "Well, thank goodness she missed the shot because she had made the shot." And they go, "Oh, the time was out," and it was. It was clearly she was just going through the rings, and she had it in her hand when it came up zeros.
I've done a timer at a few of these events, and it's a little nerve-wracking when you're in the timer.
Yeah.
And they say, "You gotta throw."
Yeah. And these players are allowed, teams are allowed 2 timeouts per game. Like I said, 8 ends. We'll have a break at the end of 4. It'll be a 4.5-minute break for them to get a little refreshment and refocused, talk strategy for a few minutes, and get ready to come out for the last 4 ends. After this end, what we'll do, we'll get Larry to go around the rink here on who's playing, and give updates of the scores for you folks at home. And we thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. We have two camera crews we're on sheet 2, and then we have another camera crew on sheet 5. There's a nice shot there.
Nice shot, just didn't finish it. Didn't hurl up quite enough. On Northern Ontario's first try, he came up a little short, so it doesn't look like a whole lot of room to get in there, but
I wonder who shot. Look.
I think Red shot.
Because I know sometimes these cameras aren't right over the center. But Flanagan's calling red. When in doubt, think the other team has the.
Yeah, I think they're drawing in, so it must be red. Because I think he could just follow that last yellow one down. It's up against her and tap it. I think there's still room to do that, but he's going with the original draw. Ben?
Well, the world wants to hear you, Larry.
Oh, I asked you earlier. Apparently, you can just hear me because you're.
I can hear you. Can they hear you? That's a question. Okay, here we are. Last shot. Second end. He's gonna.
Still the first end.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What did I say? Second?
Yeah.
I don't wish my life away.
I guess it's
Wow.
pulling them off, so we'll soon find out. And we only have a couple. Well, I guess we have a couple sheets that are into the third end, or second end. Sorry. New Brunswick and BC blanked the first end on sheet 4, and over on sheet 5, Manitoba and Yukon also blanked.
Women.
And on sheet 6, Saskatchewan scored 2 against Northwest Territories in the men's game. I see on sheet 3, Ontario picked up 3 in the ladies over Newfoundland.
There's we got a battle of the Maritimes here, NB and NS.
Yeah,
the women's side is sheet 1, and there's a lot of rocks in play.
Yeah, looks like a score of 1 over there. I can't quite see who it is, but on sheet 1, that's just 1. And here we are. It was Northern Ontario scoring 1 in the first.
So I guess that's a strategy, though. If you don't have the hammer, reduce it to 1.
And force them to 1.
Yeah. So Ontario did their job.
Exactly. It's not all about scoring. It's taking away the opportunities from the other team, and it looks like this one's a little deep.
That's a strategy. You want to come in the house? Okay, fine.
But with the 4-rock rule, we've now moved on to the 5-rock. So
yeah.
Any guards you put up with in the first.
So they're still doing 4 rocks here because that's what they played last year. A lot of these teams, qualified. So they thought they
change it up on them. Ontario just dragging that one over. The sweepers doing the job, dragging that all the way to the Tim Hortons Cup. Game on.
And speaking of Tim Hortons, we'd like to obviously a big thank you to our sponsors of this event, the City of Miramichi, Province of New Brunswick, Curling NB, Subway, Pizza Light, Tim Hortons, Jet Ice, and of course the presenting sponsor, Travelers Canada, for the support of this curling event. 28 teams are here this week, 14 women, 14 men, vying for the Travelers Cup.
Really a huge event, an opportunity for club curlers to travel across the country and play in an event of this magnitude is really something. All club curlers can look forward to having an opportunity to try this. To get here you have to obviously win out at your club and then play in the provincials.
And there's 2 big moments for these teams. One, when they get their team jackets and they're wearing the colors. And the second thing is when they walk on the ice first time with all the other provinces and territories, and they all of a sudden they go, okay, this is big. This is big now. This is real. And there was, I can remember the first day, some nerves. You see it because some of these players, first time they ever been to a national event, right? I mean, others, there are a spattering of players who played on other teams and have gone, or they've been in provincials, but not. You don't assume that this is a big deal for a lot of these players.
This is a big deal.
Yeah. Well, you're here.
Yeah.
You mean we're going to Miramichi, and Larry Flanagan is going to be broadcasting our game? That's a big deal. Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
Larry and I go way back, folks, playing volleyball. I played volleyball at UNB with some of the boys from the Miramichi, and Larry was there, and then we played senior, a lot of senior ball together, and for and against. Nice shot there.
A lot of years on the volleyball court.
Yeah, and Larry's telling me his knees is now paying the fee. Yeah, it's not what you did 20 years ago. No. The abuse that you threw your body on the court. No, that had nothing to do with it. No, it's what I did a few weeks ago. Yeah, That's what I did a few weeks ago, lifting that stuff. Right. Okay. Sure, buddy.
Shoved in the snow.
Yes, that's what did it.
Okay. Back to the action here. Northern Ontario. Doesn't look like that's going to get by, Keith. I think they were trying to draw past
Yeah,
the
let's
guard.
look at the curl on that. And the boys are sort of looking at each other. It depends on the weight. I tell you, if you throw that sort of weight, it's going to bite in for you. And then sometimes what they'll do is they try to add a little bit more oomph to it, and it'll just go right on.
Yeah, just that little push.
It's that fine. There's a fine line.
There's a lot of curl in this ice, but with a little outward motion, it'll run pretty straight on you. If you're not used to a lot of curl, which most curling clubs don't get as much.
This is great. Chris Tapley. It's a good shot there, and get a low roll in behind. Chris Tapley is the Iceman. He's from the Fredericton area, and Chris has done many provincial, obviously, championships, national championships, and Chris has gone away with the Canadian crew for international competition. So a great resource to have in our province, and Chris is up here giving his expertise to the great crew that the curling club has.
Looks like on Northern Ontario trying to run back here. It's a little off nose, so rolling in though, so not terrible.
So it's great to have, like I said, Chris' expertise here to give these curlers optimum surface to play on each and every draw.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what sheet you're on. We have 6 sheets here. This is a new facility, less than around 10 years old.
Yeah.
This is also the information center for the city here, so it's a great area on your way into the rink, a beautiful foyer. There's a shot chipped and gets by, so it keeps that.
Yeah, it's pretty well wide open
Ontario.
now, though, so
Yeah.
I would think we'll be looking at a blank here, Keith, unless, depending here, I think Northern Ontario want to nose this so that they don't give Ontario a chance to draw around the double guards on the other side. So it's important that he sticks around with this one. So Keith, you've been here a few times already for a couple other championships.
Yes.
And,
Yeah, we had the Scotties up here, and it was excellent. And it just couldn't stick around.
so that's going to give Ontario a chance to set up the head now. You can get one in behind that double guard. They're going to be in good shape here. I'm just looking over and see New Brunswick makes a triple. Stay in that game. This is where it should start to curl. It does look a little heavy. So by drawing down to it now, he'll shorten up the scoring area and try to force Ontario to score one.
Our next action, I just want to check the schedule for these teams. Larry's knees are seizing up here. he's wrong. There's a nice little cool breeze coming in. Ontario is back on the ice tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. against Saskatchewan. And then at 4 p.m. they play Newfoundland on sheet 1. So Ontario plays Saskatchewan on sheet 3 tomorrow, and Newfoundland on sheet 1 at 4. And Northern Ontario plays at 9 against Northwest Territories on sheet 4. And then one more time they play the host, the New Brunswick boys, play them on sheet 6 at 4 p.m.
This one looks like it's really curling. They got it by.
Nice to have that.
Yeah. whole key is you don't have to throw a whole lot of weight. You just have to throw enough weight to move them out of there, Keith.
Yeah.
And, with the amount of curl you can get, it's really helpful to bring your weight down a little bit and throw them hack the board. You can move some stones because from what I've been talking to some of the players, the house is really lively and the stones will jump. So again, you don't have to throw a whole lot of weight to move stones around.
First skip stone for Ontario. They have the hammer this end, down 1-0. And this is will go a long way to dictate if they're going to blank the end or go for 2. And look at that biting in. Gets by. And now Northern Ontario's on it to try to push it back further. And they did.
A little too heavy.
Yeah. So now,
not one down, maybe one just biting the 4.
Yeah.
Advantage
Northern Ontario. Now, for you folks, if you're tuning in for the first time and you're wondering where is Miramichi, well, Miramichi is sort of in the northern east part of the province and an hour and 15-minute drive north of Moncton. So Moncton's just down the road from us here. And of course, Miramichi's right smack on the Miramichi River. Miramichi, the mighty Miramichi. You've heard a lot of great fishing stories coming from this part of the world.
Yeah, we have a big bass tournament that takes place here in
yes.
May, and a big turnout for that now. And we're always known for salmon, but we seem to have getting a reputation for bass. There's a lot of big bass being caught. Fisher.
Wow, is that ever digging in?
Yeah, it's a little light.
Yeah. Opportunity sort of missed there, but yeah.
So that back red one looks wide open.
Yeah. Get that out of there. They can get there 2 again. Yeah. How quickly the pendulum has changed.
Yeah.
I just thought he would come out here and just set her down at the 4.
Yeah.
Like pick one, right?
Yeah, easy to save them up here.
It is. I've never curled so well as I have from up here.
Yeah. It's hard to miss them from up here.
But I mean, that would take that out. Like start her over and just.
You want to be lying 1 and 2.
Yeah. But, and force them to 1. Now it's. Well, look at this.
Good. Good.
They're hoping they need it to curl some here.
I think it's going to be all right.
Wait, no,
didn't finish.
No,
did not finish, and there we go. We swing it right around.
Well, that's a steal.
Steal at 1.
Wow.
So a couple missed shots at the end of that, and puts Northern Ontario up by 2.
And they're all sort of looking at each other like, what's going on here?
Yeah, a couple little misses.
Yeah.
And that one just didn't finish.
Like you said, no, it's fine. And they go, I don't know that's going to, it just got a little drift in there, slide, and it just
didn't finish.
Yeah. It didn't bite in.
Didn't take the curl. So we can do a quick recap on the scores across the sheet. Over on sheet 6, Saskatchewan, Northwest Territories are playing in the men's, and Saskatchewan has a 2-1 lead after 2 wins. And on sheet E, I guess it is, we have in the women's play Manitoba and Yukon, and Manitoba's leading that 1-0. And on sheet D, New Brunswick and Alberta are still scoreless after 2 wins. Alberta, is it Alberta? Oh, BC, sorry.
Yes.
BC. Somebody standing in front.
I know it's tough.
To see the blue and blue and gold, and I thought, but it's BC, and they're still tied at 0s with New Brunswick maintaining the hammer. On sheet C, we have in the ladies playing Newfoundland against Ontario, and Newfoundland Newfoundland. Looks like they came back and scored, but I can't see the scores.
They're putting the score down now.
Yeah.
Yep, they got one.
They scored one, so 3-1 for Ontario on that. And of course on our sheet it's 2-0 for Northern Ontario after 2 ends. And the ladies from the Maritimes are still playing. They're on their second end on sheet number 1. Brunswick leading 1-0, and we're down to a final skip stone for New Brunswick over there. So we'll have that score in a couple of seconds. We shift the screen.
Oh,
there.
jeez, good man. Are you happy now?
I'm happy. I just didn't want somebody
trampling up here.
Yeah, take your volunteer pass away.
So you're the first guy that actually reminded me. Like Tony, he meant well, but he would never.
Yeah, well, he's just.
And then Joe would be so immersed in the game that.
Which happens, and
Which
that's
happens.
what we were saying. You get so immersed that you forget to talk, you forget to do anything.
Yeah.
Good thing we can talk.
Oh.
Okay. And, Northern Ontario putting the pressure. He's bringing 2 rocks in. They're maybe a little too tight. Looks like a possible double here. Bringing the play into the rings, so a whole lot of guards in play. And,
Pick off one.
Yeah.
Another big sponsor, as you well know, this area is Town Auto.
Yes.
Runs the Chrysler, Ford. I can do this. Mazda. What's the third one?
It's all 3.
There's Ford and Chrysler. Okay. Yeah.
And
Ford and
Mazda.
Chrysler. Mazda. Great supporter of sports in this area,
Yeah.
and I know we're using their vans. Or Sean, the committee is using the vans for the teams, transporting them to and from the hotels and any place else they need to go.
Yeah.
So a big thank you has to go out to Town Auto.
Yeah, a lot of people involved this week, and a lot of volunteers here, and entertainment every night, keeping things rocking and rolling here in Miramichi for all the teams and all the guests that come with them.
Well, and that's a good segue into some of the things that go on here, because we talk about the festival place. In this past May, if you look on your calendar, Miramichi, May 25 to 27th was the big Striper Cup.
Yeah,
Talking about that. So look at your calendars. If you're a fisherman, you want to have a great opportunity to come the end of May to the Miramichi.
Yeah, that takes place in conjunction with the Rib Fest too. So,
yeah. Miramichi Rock and Roll Festival usually gets going the end of June, the Canada Day weekend, and Canada's Irish Festival on the Miramichi is normally the 3rd week of July, and then we're into the 2nd week of August with the next year will be the 62nd annual Miramichi Folk Song Festival.
Always something happening.
Always something happened in the Miramichi. We have Acadia Day on the 15th, mid-August, and then finishing off the month of August is Miramichi Scottish Festival. So a lot of different events happening in this area in the summertime. If you have an opportunity to come down from Northern or Ontario,
yeah.
Love to have you. And the great thing is where we're located at here, like we said, Miramichi is only an hour and 15 minutes from Moncton area. Moncton, Shediac, Parley Beach. You're close to PEI. Take the Confederation Bridge, 27-kilometer bridge. 27, 23. It's 20 plus kilometers going over there. Yeah.
Is it? I thought it was 13 or 14.
Oh.
Could be wrong.
I could. Let me check that. I can't. Yeah. Did it take me? How long did it take me to go across that bridge? Okay, I got to check that out. Anyway, going over the Confederation Bridge, or from Moncton, you're about 2.5 hours from Halifax too.
So yeah.
You got the 3 maritime provinces that you can.
And lots going on here all winter long and all summer too. So lots of events. glad to have everybody here on the Miramichi for this week, and hopefully they'll like it so much they'll want to come back. I know there was quite a few people that were excited to come here thinking they might have a chance to fish, but fortunately the fishing season ends in the end of October here, so they really didn't get that opportunity, but like we said, they might want to come back and take in some of the events in the summertime. And we've been very fortunate this week. No snowstorms, Keith. There was a storm through the Maritimes yesterday, but it didn't reach this far north, and we just got a sprinkling of snow.
Yeah, they were saying Moncton area gets sort of slammed a bit.
Yeah. So it looks like a pretty clean end so far, Keith. We're just exchanging stones here, and right now Northern Ontario line one. And
yeah, got one, and they stole one.
Yes. So Litchke is throwing down to remove this, maybe get a little roll in behind that guard, but it looks where he's coming down here. He'd think we're gonna nose. Which is not the worst thing, but we're already down to skip stones here in the third end, Keith.
Yeah, 13 kilometers, 8 miles.
Yeah.
It opened May 31st, 1997.
I was just thinking there that when they first opened, they had that
run.
Walk across.
Oh, the walk
and
across.
Run, right? So
you did that, did you?
No, but some of my friends, I can't imagine them ever going 26 kilometers.
yeah. My friend, your friends wouldn't do that. That's a good way to remember it. Well, no, I got friends that did, and no way they do that. That's great. Did you need?
Alex Tweeter's doing a good job holding that, and it's going to roll in behind. So again, Ontario has a chance to draw in behind two guards, much like last end. And, down to skip stones, looking for the skip double here. And I'm told Curl Canada brought all the inserts for those stones. They use the Miramichi stones, but the inserts the colors are all from Curl Canada.
Okay.
They're all pretty consistent. They checked them all earlier, and the stones are pretty consistent. We're pretty lucky that way.
That's great. Well, you host a lot of great events, right? I mean, this is a great venue, and but you got to have a great support group that want to host.
Yeah,
right?
Have a good committee, and Sean and his group Sean and Hubert do a lot of work for the club, and keep it in the forefront of clubs here in not only New Brunswick, the Maritimes, and now Canada.
Yeah.
This one's over curling. Oh, looks like they got it.
They're working hard in this one.
Yeah.
No.
Just over curls.
And speaking of volunteers and local champions, when I had an opportunity to go away to some sports tourism conferences, I was in Edmonton, and we had seminars and whatnot, and they talked about the three important aspects of hosting an event, and whether it be a provincial event, a regional event, or a national, international event. Is that first, you have to have venue or venues and facilities. Second point, you have to have a local champion. In this case here, Sean put his hand up and said, yes, we would like to go after that event, or put a bid in. And then the third thing, and Larry's touched on it already, is you have to have a great volunteer base. And if you do not have any one of those three components, then you don't have an event.
Yeah.
You could have a great volunteer base but don't have a venue. You could have a great venue and a great local champion but no volunteers. Because this week I've heard the number anywhere from 100 to 120 or more volunteers have kicked in this week to help to make this a success. So those are three. And then obviously the fourth thing, without saying, is you got to have great sponsorship.
Yes, yeah.
right? And with some events comes the national support, but still, that's not usually enough to make it a success. You got to have you've got to have the Pizza Delights. You got to have the Subway. You've got to have the city kicking in, and any other keen supportive sponsors like Town Auto, for example, and Tim Hortons. So, again, thank you very much for all the sponsors you do, and I know in your communities. If you're listening in Ontario, Northern Quebec, there's Northern Ontario. There's great hosting communities in those areas for different sports, and every community has their local champions, and it's a lot of community pride. I can tell you this week by being in the area, going to the restaurants and the hotels, and just walking around, you get that sense of pride with the community on hosting and having these 28 teams plus family and friends and coming into their community. So
yeah, very big event, huge event here for Miramichi, and we're really proud of it now. The amount of national championships we have hosted, and we have another one coming up this summer with the baseball. Baseball Canada will be hosting the Shannon Meyer will be hosting the Senior Nationals, so that's another big event here on the river.
Yeah.
And we just saw on our sheet here, Northern Ontario stole another point, so they're now up 3-0.
Yeah, they're having a struggle at the back end.
Yeah, the Skips just doesn't seem to have the weight right down, and again, this last one, Ontario is just overcurled and ended up wrecking on the guard out front. Another simple end that just went a little bit astray, Keith.
But I tell you, one good end, they get a couple points. They're back in it at the break,
right? Yeah.
Right, and then
that's what they
need a positive end here to go on the break. Larry being an athlete and coach and whatnot, and we always talk about we talk about the physical component of the athlete, being in condition and everything else, very important. But the other important aspect of the athlete is the mental side of the game, and sometimes when things go well, you got to park it and focus on the next shot, and let's work on it, and baby steps sometimes.
Yeah.
And right now, Northern Ontario scored first, and then they've stole single points in both the second and third end. Ontario has the hammer, and if they have a good end here and they get their deuce, they're only down a point.
Yeah.
And they can easily steal points just as.
That's the interesting thing about this, and especially curling at this level, is that it can swing so quickly, and it is a momentum game, and it's just one or two shots that make all the difference.
Yeah.
So Ontario's got it set up right now. They've got two guards out front, which is certainly to their benefit. Northern Ontario's going to try to draw in around their own guard.
Also, I think they were timing her where.
Looks like we got a pretty good shot here, Keith. Does seem to be carrying a little bit of weight. And it's grinded to a quick halt, so should be right about the tee line. So that actually works out pretty good for Ontario. They can right down to that. They don't have to move it. They just have to get to it, or they're just in front of it.
Yeah, like they've been in front of that tee line.
Yeah. Get the scores updated here shortly. They're just now putting some scores up, so it'll just be a minute. They update on the scores across the sheet. This looks like a pretty good weight, Keith. Sweepers are working hard on it. They just got to get another foot.
Yeah, let's count. Shot rock.
Shot rock. So game on for this end. The last couple ends have been pretty up and down the sheet with just only a couple rocks in play, but this one's certainly going to have a few rocks in play. Looks like we're going to try to move this one. I think early here, Northern Ontario seems to have their weight down quite well.
Boy, they're leaning on those brooms, those brushes.
Certainly cutting the scoring area down. Okay, so it's going to be up to Ontario to make the move here. And, Northern Ontario's just keeping a few rocks in play, which could come back to haunt them, but right now they're not in too bad a shape. They've got that scoring area cut down pretty good. So again, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot.
No.
So we do have some updates on some scores there, Keith. Over on start on our far right sheet F, we have in men's play, we have Saskatchewan playing Northwest.
Northwest Territories, yep.
Yeah. Looks like Saskatchewan's up 4-1.
Yes.
Just starting the fourth end. And that's just a little deep, Keith.
Yeah. Just like they've been about a foot.
Yeah. In women's play on sheet E, we have Manitoba and the Yukon tied 1-1. On sheet D, in men's play, New Brunswick and BC. BC's leading that 1-0 after 3 ends of play. Newfoundland and Ontario women's play on sheet C, and Ontario continues to lead that one 4-1. And of course on this sheet, 3-0 for Northern Ontario. And you see them following that shot down. Trying to get by that high guard on the 12-foot, and right down to it. Looks like a pretty good shot, Keith. And again, we're really narrowing that scoring area. So Ontario going to continue to draw in there, and just got to move a few stones around here a little bit.
Now, you gotta love curling. The Yukon women have lost 9-2, 9-2, and 14-2, and they're playing Manitoba. 1-1.
1-1 after 3.
After 3.
Yeah.
So they're giving Manitoba everything they can do, and Manitoba's a nice team.
Yeah, lots of good curlers in Manitoba.
Yeah.
Lots of curlers out west. As a sport, we're just starting to grow again here in New Brunswick, especially here in the Miramichi. We're starting to see some more members come out, more younger players starting to curl, and that's all good for us and good for the sport.
Yeah, Manitoba's hitting 3-0 women.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Anything can happen at this level of curling, for sure. Like we said, it is a long week, and a lot of curling, and a lot of time on the ice, which I know none of these curlers are really used to. They all have a job and a life besides being on the ice. So.
What? No, Larry, say it ain't so.
Yeah.
We got lots of rocks in play this end.
Certainly do. Northern Ontario just closing that hole, I think. Again, Northern Ontario sitting 1 here, and Ontario's going to go right in there. They still see that draw is available, so as we said, they really want to score a point here, Keith, and somebody's going to score a point this end.
Profound. That's profound. Wow. Yeah. Every now and then you come up with these nuggets, don't you? Huh? It's just like, I don't know where they come from.
Just stay up late at night.
3, 6, 5 rocks in play, you know. I'm just saying, someone's going to score.
Thanks, Keith. Nice looking draw here.
Yeah, a little tick. Get rubbed.
That's not all bad, though. It's wide open, so Northern Ontario is going to have to deal with that, because that's a stone that Ontario can use for sure.
Boy.
This is an exciting game to watch.
I tell you, there's
especially this end, lots of rocks in play, so it's getting very interesting.
Well, like you said, Ontario can close the gap here. or Northern Ontario can open it up, and they're sitting shot rock here now.
This one's curling. Bless you.
Oof. Just knocked my headset off.
I think that one opened it up a little bit for Ontario. They can now draw down to that black red one. And
Well, it
that
seems
red on the button.
every rock's on the left side.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the right
Lots of
side.
interns.
Well, Tony Walsh did tell me everything breaks to the water. Right?
Oh,
So
just like golf.
just like golf.
Yeah.
He says, Keith, I just want to let you know now that everything goes to the water.
They mean the cove or the river? They could be throwing downhill now.
Yeah.
Put that right back in the same spot. And again, we're down to skip stones here in the fourth end. Like we said, this is really an important end for Ontario.
Well, yeah,
To
and
get some momentum going.
You never know. You might see a timeout here before this is all done. There are all these rocks in
Your
play.
coaching coming into play.
Well, I'm just saying that this is a critical juncture.
Yeah.
Critical juncture.
Yeah, I know, big words.
Big words.
Yeah.
Larry's a principal of a school too, so the wealth of knowledge that's
Being wasted
being used.
here tonight, yes.
So here we go.
Again, that stone is good for Ontario, so Northern Ontario is going to try to remove it. I guess they almost have to run it straight back here or get it into the inside roll. I think.
This is the first skip stone for Northern Ontario. Luis.
Oh, they need a little curl here.
Took out.
Oh, double.
Yes, look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Really doesn't change a whole lot for Ontario.
no, it's still.
They're still looking at that same draw.
Yeah, Ontario is sitting second stone.
They've had 3 runs at this, so they should know the ice, and hopefully the boys down there at the front end have a pretty good idea of the speed and give that information on to their skipper. Looking for a skipper to make a shot here. He's been struggling just a little bit, so this is a good opportunity for him to get in the game and get himself ready for the final 4 ends. Little update on sheet A. Nova Scotia is leading that, New Brunswick 3-1 after 3 ends. Jeepers are going
That's
hard
got
on this one.
hard, yeah.
Yeah, they got to carry this. Keep it going, keep it moving. Looks like you've got a pretty good one.
Yeah. Going on the umbrella.
Perfect.
Great shot.
Just what he needed, I think, Keith.
Yeah. Travelers, it's better under the umbrella, but for this week, it's better to be on it.
Ah, you've been working on that for a while?
Yeah, I have. I stay up.
Good time to bring it up, too.
I have a notepad by the bed there. I just write these nuggets down.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, when you know you got a game to do,
Yeah, and
the
you're coming
opportunity
on.
arises.
Yeah, and you're coming on.
So I think Northern Ontario is just going to try to cap that off. Maybe move it just a touch, but I don't think you're going to have a hard time removing that stone. So again, they just want to cut down that scoring area. Put this one in on top of that. Pretty much limits Ontario to 1.
I keep giving my meal money away.
Yeah, I think I bought a ticket last night, but didn't check it, so I'm assuming I probably got the winner there.
No.
No.
Well, it's coming in.
Yeah, that's exactly what they wanted to do. That pretty much limits them to 1.
Am I getting my time out here
you
yet? I
kindly.
wonder? Am I?
I don't know how they score 2 here, Keith.
That's what
We've been in this situation before as a team and ended up giving away a couple points. So
Yeah.
don't
So
wanna move around.
the
You don't wanna
blast,
play a
the
whole
blast
lot.
shot.
Yeah,
Just
no.
throw it
Yeah,
hard.
you can't hurt yourself here.
Just
until
throw it hard. Something's got to happen.
They may be able. They're looking at maybe ticking that yellow one that's on the top of the forefoot. If they could just move it to the button
and tap the other one out.
Well,
I mean, just give a little nudge to the
I don't think
the red.
I don't think it's there. They just threw it away. So they got their one, and
there's so many rocks in there that
it's a 3-1 gamekeeper. They're still in it, and they certainly didn't want to do anything to make it worse. So they're stepping into their 4-end break. So I guess that means we get a break.
That means we're going to try to get you to stand up, and we'll take a quick break, folks. We'll be back for more exciting action here from the 2018 Travelers Club Championships from the Miramichi Curling Club in the Miramichi, New Brunswick.
Because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another. One team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another. One team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported by a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride. In a game of inches, every move counts. Are you ready to make yours? The support of the curling community makes it possible for thousands of kids across Canada to follow their dreams, on and off the ice. Thank you for giving generously. Curling teaches as much about life as it does about sport. Club, team, house, lead, rock. These are the words of our sport, words we embody, powerful words, words that speak to everything we represent: respect, togetherness, strength. Our games begin with a handshake and a kind word. We congratulate our opponents when they make a good shot. We remain silent when they falter. We even call our own fouls. When we win, we celebrate with modesty, with humility. We own our mistakes. When defeated, we concede without shame. Win or lose, we hug with abandon, because we genuinely care about our fellow athletes. Curling doesn't discriminate. The ice doesn't judge. It adapts. It accepts. Curling isn't a book to be judged by its cover. On these sheets, everyone is on the same page. It's what's on the inside that counts. The path to victory isn't always smooth. We use friction as an advantage and adversity as an opportunity. The battle is within ourselves, to improve, to advance. We dream big. We play with heart. We focus on these circles and imagine podiums in far-off places. Curling is what the world needs right now. Connection to one another, one team, one community. Curling is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle, a philosophy, a movement, a belief in self, in kindness, in good health, and in good fun. Supported.
The teams, thank you for your support, and hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Keith Rains in the booth here with Larry Flanagan with Vibe TV1, bringing you this coverage here from the Miramichi Curling Club in Miramichi, New Brunswick.
Yeah, great to be here, great to be broadcasting. I hope everybody's enjoying the game, and like you say, I'm sure the members back at their club are enjoying this and getting a chance to see their club mates playing here in the championship. And this has been a really good, exciting game. Last end, lots of rocks in play, and seeing lots of movement on the ice. We're going to see some strategy in these last four ends, I'm sure. Ontario setting up a guard here now.
Well, they figured if Northern Ontario can steal some points, why can't they?
That's right.
Right? So that's what makes it exciting. And on the Northern Ontario side, they said, now listen, we got the hammer. If we can get a deuce and 5-1, that's a huge lead the way this game has been going.
Yeah. But 2 points is like you said, is hard to come by here, but it's really important. Get you 2 points here with the hammer. That's going to change this ball game completely. But Ontario themselves are not out of it, and they got an end here. They got a guard, and Northern Ontario just went a little deep there. So we're going to see some rocks in play this end too, Keith, because we got 2 guards out front. Going to see them start curling around there.
Yeah.
We can update all the sheets for you.
Woof, got a big. Is that you're going to do that, big guy?
No, you go right
Okay,
ahead.
I'm going to this time. On sheet 6, Saskatchewan and Northwest Territories, 5-1 Saskatchewan, men's play. In women's, Manitoba and the Yukon. The Yukon are battling Manitoba tough tonight. Manitoba undefeated, but it's only they're clinging to a 2-1 lead, and Yukon will have the hammer. Men's action, BC and New Brunswick, and that is a 3-0 lead for BC. BC's been playing very solid this week. Women's Newfoundland and Ontario up 4-2. And then in the battle of the Maritimes here, New Brunswick and Nova Scotia 3-2. and they will be having the hammer when they come back after their break.
Yeah, they as you said earlier, all the teams are used to the box, and they seem to have used up quite a bit of time in their first 4 ends over there on sheet A or sheet 1. Be exciting to see how that one finishes. Brunswick and Nova Scotia. And there we see Northern Ontario peel off that yellow guard. Looks like Ontario are going to draw in around that stone on the top 12. One on top of their existing. Replacing the guard, I guess, Kate.
Lots of sweeping going on there.
That's what they're out there
Yeah.
for. They don't want to be
Big,
a front
strong
end
boys.
They don't want to be a front end and never have to sweep. Okay.
Yeah. I just enjoy hearing you, Larry.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, I thought maybe I could just whisper.
No, no.
Apparently, got to be part
No,
of
we
the
got
conversation.
to send your knowledge out to the world. I had a gentleman in the booth one night, and I said, "Listen, I just want to let you know there's going to be probably under 2 million people listening to the broadcast." And they go, 2 million? I said, well under 2 million. But
I'm sure that's the way it is
You
again
should have
tonight.
seen the look on his face when all he heard was 2 million. 2 million? I said, well, yeah. Well under 2 million, but
Well,
I have to
you
pick
can't
a
be
number.
sure though.
Can't be sure.
Could be a little more than that. Everybody could be on their cell phone watching.
yeah. Well, we had what we can do is at the end of this event, we put a report together for Curling Canada and the host committee, and we can tell how many hits we've had, what type of devices we're watching, and where.
So Big
Like
Brother's watching.
countries wide, we don't get into addresses of houses. Okay,
Yeah.
we're not Facebook. But yeah, so we just did the World U17 Hockey Championships. They were in St. John, New Brunswick,
Yes, I did watch
a
little
few
bit
weeks
of that,
ago.
yeah.
And alone there was over 100,000 hits from Russia.
Wow.
Of course, Russia ended up winning the event.
So there would be somewhere around 2 million watching.
Well,
that one,
there was a good response, and it's great that what can be offered now on the web. You watch your family and friends, and you could be in Ontario, Northern Ontario, or maybe you're fortunate enough to be in warmer climates, but you like to see how the boys are making out.
Yep.
And you can tune in, and just like you're there, and afterwards want to drop them a text, an email, whatever, a Twitter,
right.
congratulating them, say, hey, we saw you tonight, and that goes a long way. Like
you said, they're all club curlers here, and this is a big event, and certainly like to know that their friends and family are watching, and if you can touch base with them, they'd all appreciate that.
And the members of Port Arthur have played at different times against the members of Cornwall. Like, that, right? That's just like us here, the Capel Winter Club in Fredericton, Thistle St. Andrews down in St. Andrews, or St. John. You come across each other in competition, and there's little bragging rights going on.
Yeah, it's a small world within that little within the curling fraternity, and the same faces you see when you travel some of the bondsfields across the province, and I'm sure it's the same in every province. That, you're all going to the same bondsfields for the fun and the camaraderie, and just a chance to see the same people over and over again. You may only get to see them once or twice a year, but it's always fun. It's a very social sport too.
Yeah. Oh, just ticked it. At the very end, it was going to be tight, but
Ontario's looking pretty good in this end, Keith.
I've heard that before.
Right now,
Have you said that before?
today?
No, they've been looking pretty good here.
Yeah.
Are you going to go out on the limb and said someone's going to score this end?
No.
Are you going to make that statement? You're not going to make that statement yet.
No, that's already been used. You can only use
You got to go new.
Yeah,
New material.
If you don't have new material, you'll be getting calls.
Yeah. So when we
you
have
can use that. Feel free.
well,
to use
when we
that.
have a different group, they'll probably be watching for the first time. Then we could use that again.
Right.
Like say if we had like Newfoundland and PEI, you could use that line.
So you're thinking I'm going to be back.
Well, that's a again, that's a big assumption, isn't it?
You're just watching.
Yeah.
Looks like
Because
this is
Ontario's
pretty-
sitting there,
pretty
sitting two now.
good. Setting up a nice little guard here.
Yeah.
Notice it doesn't go too deep.
Good.
Yeah.
It's just in front of the 12.
Yeah. And Northern Ontario is going to draw here. Seems to have a better handle on the draw weight than throwing any kind of big weight. So we're going to draw it down there to that back stone. Lie the one if you can get it to curl in.
Yeah. First stone for Skip Weiss.
Line. Sweepers are on and off, so that's always a good sign.
Yeah. It's coming in.
Really cutting hard.
Gets by that guard. They wanted to. Oh, just nudge.
On the umbrella.
Yep. Shot stone. But it is exposed there.
Yeah, it'll be tough to move that a whole lot, but they only have to move it probably 2 feet to take it to the back of the floor. So he settled on the ice here and he's getting ready to throw. And this is Ontario's the last of the skip stones here in the 15th. So at this point, I think somebody will be scoring.
Okay. I was wondering how long you're going to hold out. You're feeling confident there.
Confident now, yeah.
Okay, here's Dupuis. Last shot for him in this end.
Looks pretty good.
3-1 Northern Ontario currently, and Northern Ontario has the hammer.
Finish here. Got to finish. Got to curl.
They're starting to sweep it now.
Here it comes. Looks like
Get the little tap. Yep. And still holding on, but
enough. Yeah.
they're counting two currently. Good shot.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of options right now.
Yeah. We've got a great crowd here tonight. Downstairs is pretty well full.
Pretty full, yeah.
Did you get to go down and see your public?
I did go down.
Yeah.
Talk
Shake
to
some
a few
hands.
people.
Yeah, kiss some babies.
No babies here
No
tonight.
babies?
No.
That's their bedtime. I suppose it's 8:45.
Past some of our bedtimes
Yeah.
for sure. Well, fun to say, and 5 o'clock comes early here at other times. But I suppose it comes early everywhere.
It all depends what time you go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, time we get home, here it is. Last shot of the fifth end.
Trying for a piece of the button, I think. This is all up to the
Could
sweepers
be
now.
a steal of two here for Ontario. Be all tied up. Big shot here for Northern.
It's got good line here.
They're sweeping hard.
Got to get a piece of that button. Not going to be able to carry it.
Working there. Beasley's on it. Is it got enough? No. And a count of two. And ladies and gentlemen, we're all tied up.
We said that it'd be nice to score two, but we didn't think they were going to steal two each.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say, all tied up, and that's the way curling can go. wind shot here or there makes all the difference.
Well, we are getting into that time of year with some big events coming up. And the first one, 2018 Home Hardware Canada Cup, that's December 5th to 9th in Saskatchewan. And the next one after that is the World Financial Group Continental Cup, January 17th to 20th in Las Vegas.
Covering that one?
Yeah, I'd like to go down, do some recon work. Number 3 is the New Holland Canadian Juniors, and that is January 19th to 27th in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. So Saskatchewan's got a couple events coming up
Got the whole team
at the end of this year and the start of next. Coming back to our part of the world, and there's something happened there. Did that catch something, Larry?
No, it just came
Just
up a little light. We had the whole team out there sweeping on it, but didn't have enough to get it over the hog line. So
2019 Scotties Tournament of Hearts, Sydney, Nova Scotia, up in Cape Breton. February 16th to 24th is the Scotties. So you want some good East Coast hospitality in Cape Breton.
beautiful part of the world.
Yeah, it might be a little cold and windy there, but the atmosphere and the hospitality is warm and inviting.
That's correct. They're selling it.
And then we have the 2019, we're heading back out west for the Tim Hortons Briar, March 2nd to 10th. My birthday's on the March 9th. If you want to send any presents my way, that'd be great. March 2nd to 10th.
Probably won't remember that.
No. Brandon, Manitoba is the Briar this year. And it'll be and I know there's some people from this area are heading out. They already get their hotel and tickets.
Yeah.
And actually downstairs at our silent auction, they have passes that people are bidding on for the Briar as well as the Scotties, and plus some other just beautiful auction items down there.
Chance to walk by that table.
Yeah. And then last is the 2019 World Men's Curling Championship, and that will be played in Lethbridge, Alberta, March 30th to April 7th.
So really, we're just at the beginning of the curling season.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of these teams qualified last year. There was some teams that did qualify this year. I talked to the Ontario ladies team, and they just it was in October when they had their play downs and whatnot to come on down.
Well,
And,
that doesn't give them much time to prepare.
No,
but,
it doesn't. And
it's a couple
like
weeks.
some provinces are like that. It's up to the individual province how they want to do it or run it. Other teams like to have time to prepare and getting the time off with work and family and
especially if you have to play in your provincial play down.
Yes.
Club championships.
Yep.
And then a month later, you got to take another week to come here.
yeah.
So
So
not everybody can do that.
yeah.
But well worth it if you can make it and if you can qualify. I think it's a wonderful event. An excellent opportunity to see the rest of the country, but also an excellent opportunity to curl with your peers across this country. And so we're back to mixing it up again, and Ontario just drew down to the top 4.
I've come to the conclusion that this game, anything can happen at any given time. Never assume.
Never think that any lead is safe.
No,
Really.
any lead is safe, any rock is safe,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it fun. That's why you can't go way too far from your iPhone, iPad, computer, and maybe some of the more organized folks, as they had the cable to hook up their computer to their TV. Like Joe Hawks.
Okay.
He sets his up. There's a little
Yeah,
bump
that
there.
over curled, but it did move it far enough so that Northern Ontario is now lying 1, but they got that biter in the back, which could come into play later on. You never know. Ontario going to drop right back to that top 4. So I guess it's time to update some scores again, Keith.
It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah, I did it last time.
The problem with it is
I know they
people
covered the
step in front of the scoreboard. Just
That's
like
why you try to pass it off of me.
Well, you're so much taller than I am. You can see over them. Okay, over on sheet F, we have Saskatchewan, Northern Ontario. Saskatchewan leading that one 5-2, and that's in men's play. And women's play on sheet E, we have Manitoba and Yukon, and that one is 3-1 for Manitoba. And they're stealing one in the fifth. On sheet D, we have in men's play, New Brunswick and BC, and BC's leading that one 3-2. New Brunswick scored 2 in the fifth. On sheet C, we have
Newfoundland
and Ontario. And Ontario continues to lead that one 5-2. And over on sheet 1, we have New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, with Nova Scotia up 3-2 after 4 ends. We're just playing the fifth.
See, you did good.
I didn't
Proud
do
of
too
you.
bad.
Got to weave, bob in and out.
Yeah. There's a
And
lot
it makes
of
it tough.
maneuvering here.
Yeah, there's a lot of bodies down there covering those.
Yeah.
And it's funny because after you get done telling the score, they all leave. It's almost like they know Larry's going to try to give the score out now. No, I'm not going to show it to him. Well, we have a clutter of stones.
A
A clutter.
Okay. There's a new term.
I know.
New
I'm tired.
term, and feel free to use it out there. You get in the game, and it's made or something, and you're skipping action.
What's a clutter? Well, it's a whack of stones in the house.
A whack.
A whack.
Another good New Brunswick term, a whack of stones. For those of you that don't know how many's in a whack.
Yeah.
Right now it's 5.
And a clutter is 6 or more. We've been doing this for 3 days, okay?
Okay. So everybody
9 a.m. 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Everybody out there knows what a whack is,
Yeah.
and I didn't have to qualify that at all. Sorry.
That's a good one. I'll tell you a saying here when we get done. Maybe after this clutter gets cleaned up.
Too, and Northern Ontario is trying to move that one out front. Get a little movement here and maybe open it up a little bit.
It get by. Oh,
Didn't quite get by, but it's going to take one out.
Plan B.
Plan B.
Yeah.
Ontario trying to protect those 2 stones in the 4-foot. A complete swing around from the first 4 ends.
Yeah.
So the never give up attitude here is starting to pay off.
They're clawing and scratching.
The guard here trying to get it back to the center line. Moving now, and he's coming into the picture now.
Put a guard up.
Put the guard up, so quickly move out, and they're going to remove that guard. Open up the front. Try to peel the 2 of them out of there. Certainly want to get that one off the center line without giving them a chance to get in at those stones. There's some of the biggest weight we've seen today.
Yeah. Energy bar kicked in. No, just missed it by a bit.
Yeah, just over curl just a little bit. So. I think Ontario would rather not have the hammer by the looks of things. They still have 2 in the 5th, and now it looks like they're in pretty good shape here in the 6th.
Well, it's funny because when you have the hammer, or don't have, your strategy changes, right?
Yes.
So, okay, we're going to go right in the house.
Yeah.
Now, if they didn't have the hammer, they may be putting up.
Yeah, trying to set up to score 2, but right now, most of the players
They'll put guards up or something.
Yeah, they got 2 stones in the 4-foot, and now they're just going to try to guard it off. Colonel Sun, but it looks like it's going to finish here. Sweepers think it might be a little heavy, but looks like it's grinding pretty good there, Keith. Maybe over curl.
Throw out the anchor. Okay.
The sound effects there.
Yes. Get giddy with it.
The camera picks up so much.
Yeah. Was I talking there?
Nope. Okay, we're going to see a little run back here. I thought they were going to call that timeout. You've been looking for a Keith. But
Yeah.
coach is probably trying to get their
There's not enough. It hasn't got up to a whack of stones yet.
Oh,
It's a clutter.
it's a clutter.
So this is the first stone for.
The 50-50 was announced downstairs and claimed by 7430 with a total of $239. Thank you.
No thanks.
Yeah, a little depressing news.
A little
there.
depressing news here, folks. We did not win the 50-50. I don't know how I'm expect to win the Lotto Max if I can't win a 50-50
Yeah,
with 300
just for
people.
practice, yeah. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Did give them a chance to score here because
Now they're Northern Ontario's sitting second shot.
looking for a draw down there to the top
Yeah.
four to close it off and steal another end. So Matthews made a few shots in the last couple ends, and his team's definitely been rewarded. And here he is drawing again now to take control of this end.
His last shot.
Once again, the sweepers are on and off. Now they're off, so that would indicate they're either pretty
heavy.
close, a little heavy.
Yeah. He wants it to curl some.
Yeah.
Starting to come over.
Does leave room.
Okay. Yeah.
Does leave room for Ontario or Northern Ontario to come right down to it and end up scoring here. So but right now on Ontario is line 2. That one just went a little too deep.
We're the last stone of the sixth end.
Big draw here in the 6th end.
Yeah.
Keep this game within reach and under control.
Yeah. Looking at 2 Ontario
Got
stones.
to slow down and curl.
Staying out. Nope. I don't think it.
Another steal of 2.
And Ontario goes up 5-3.
That's how quickly it could change here.
Yeah. Northern Ontario's been stuck on 3 after starting. Got a 1-0 lead, then they stole single digits in the second and third. Ontario came back with 1 before the break, and they stole 2. Then they
4
stole
points,
2.
I said.
Yeah. 2 here to go up 5-3. Okay, yes, I'll get on this. Wow, you are there.
I know, just to try to keep up with Tony there. It's a big job.
Well, yeah, you're well ahead of Tony now. You reminded me twice to change the monitor. So here's talking local sayings. Okay, I'll try to do this as quick as I can. we have a radio show, Maritime Noon. It comes out of Halifax, and they had an author on one day, and he was writing a book on local sayings. So he would like people to phone in. He said, if you think you have a unique saying, please phone in. And he said, normally people have to move into the community who hasn't grown up, because like you grew up in this area, so you have sayings, but it's not unique to you because your grandparents said it, your parents say it, you say it. So but if someone new moves into the area, you go, oh, well, that's different. What does that mean? So anyway, this one woman was from Manitoba, married an army guy from Nova Scotia. Well, when he retired, he wanted to move back to Nova Scotia. So they did. So she phoned in, and she goes, you know how when you have a lot of groceries in your hand, and you come to the house and you can't open the door because you get the groceries, so you knock with your elbow, and you knock on the door to somebody to come and let you in. And you go, yeah. So they say, okay, that's the premise. Now, you ever have, there's every family or every social group has usually a few people who organize events, birthday parties, anniversaries. They have Thanksgiving or they have Christmas, and because they like people to come. Well, you always have those few people that come to your events, but they don't bring anything to the event. They eat your food, they drink your refreshments, but they don't bring anything. Okay? So, here's the unique saying that you can give them. They say, listen, we love you to come, but come with your elbows knocking, which means don't come empty-handed. So it's a nice, polite way of saying, hey, love you to come, Larry. Come with your elbows knocking. And you say, what? Bring something. Oh, what would you like as bring? It could be a dessert, it could be an appetizer. A bag of ice would be good. For all the drinks that you're drinking.
Don't come empty-handed.
Don't come empty-handed. So come with your elbows knocking. So I'll throw that out to the folks in Ontario. A little something that we have the Christmas season coming up, and there'll be social gatherings going on.
So if you're coming to Keith's,
come with your elbows knocking.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes if you're hosting a Christmas gathering, well, then that's fine. Expect it. But still, I know the Maritime way is we always bring something.
don't come empty-handed.
Don't come empty-handed. Yeah. We never come empty-handed, because that's the first thing that comes out of people. What would you like us to bring? They go, oh, no, it's all. No, really. Yeah. It's good
I'm
enough
not coming if I can't
it's good
bring
enough.
something.
You're opening up your home to us, and all the work that goes involved, and because everyone cleans their house immaculately, just so it can be all cluttered up when you have people over, right? So that's my nugget.
That's the premise of the story. And,
that's a premise.
Glad you kept it short.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody was sitting on the edge of their seats wondering what that was all about.
How did that happen? I think it's all started with the clutter and the whack. That was it.
It comes right back to the
Comes
whack.
right back. So here we are, 5-3 Ontario, stealing 2. Now Northern Ontario has to regroup. They have the hammer.
If anybody wants to play trivia, they can sign up now.
There you go, Keith. Chance, they'll probably be bringing that up in the trivia game downstairs. What's a whack?
Bigger than a clutter.
Yeah, more than a clutter for sure. Here we have Northern Ontario trying to draw around those 2 yellow guards, but it looks like it's coming up short. So a little bit of momentum has swung towards Ontario for sure, and now they're in the position to draw around those guards that are out front. The first one into the forefoot certainly will have control of this end. Well, I guess I'll just remove that red one.
I'm going to peel out too.
Yeah. So Ontario is still lying 1, but Northern Ontario is going to take this opportunity to draw around that cluster of stones.
No, it's not even a cluster yet. Sorry.
Okay, it's just 4 stones. Sorry.
Well, no. Well, yeah. Oh, well, clutter outside the rings.
Yeah. So, don't know. We'll have to work on that term, I guess.
A bevy of
Looks like they're
rocks
gonna
out
have to-
front.
yeah, looks like they're going to have to stay with this one all the way.
Now they're on it. Starting to curl now, coming in. It's going to be enough there. Beasley's on it hard. Gets it by.
Right to the top of the 4. Good shot.
Yeah. Good shot. Good sweep in there.
Good judgment of the weight there.
Yeah.
I think they'll breathe a little easier. A little more in control of this end now.
Well, Ontario has scored 5 straight points.
That's correct. And we were just talking about them trying to get a little momentum going into the break. And sure enough, they scored that one. Now in control of this game. But, as we have said all along, anything can happen at this event. It has. Draw right down to that. Yellowstone is in control there, so they want to move that around a little bit so that Ontario just doesn't bump that up now by 2. So Ontario just going to move these around a little bit, change the angles.
Sirkin. Looks a little tight to me.
Sweepers are on it early.
Yeah.
Looks like they're holding it pretty good, Keith.
Look at Bees. He's a beast. And going to kick that first one.
Yeah.
Well, look at that.
Spun in a little bit.
Spun in. Count 1, 2.
Gives them a chance to hit and roll here, though.
Yeah. Yeah, hit and roll. Got it. Right. I'm liking it.
Easy. Nothing to it, just hit.
Jim roll. What's the big deal? And now this is, well, like I said, we're in the 7th end now. This is, you know, if Ontario can score another 1, could be the game. But I'll tell you a story in this afterwards. Shorter one. Hit and got a little, but priority 1. He got that Northern Ontario rock out.
Still lying 1. Northern Ontario, so.
Well, Northern Ontario was up 7-4. Saskatchewan.
Oh, yes.
Monday night. Saskatchewan, former champions. And all of a sudden, I think the foot went off the gas a little bit. A couple missed shots, of course, against a good team. You know how that costs you.
Pressure the first night out there, too.
And Saskatchewan scored 4. 1-8-7.
Wow.
Ouch.
4 in the 8th.
4 in the 8th.
That's something you want to write home.
So, but now here we are. They're down 2. So maybe this is our time to turn it around. So this is
Call
just
a timeout though, Keith. So Northern Ontario looking at how they're going to score 2 out of this.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like I guess they think they got plenty of time, but
well, and I guess they do because they got
7 minutes, over 7 minutes, and they only got 1 more in to play.
So they've talked this over. It looks like they're going to hit, try to roll inside, maybe touch the red one. I guess we could update some scores, Keith. I'm pretty sure that's.
Wow. Let's show that over to the guy, huh? Yeah, nice. Men's division, Saskatchewan up 6-2 over Northwest Territories. Women's, Manitoba, Yukon, 5-1 Manitoba. In New Brunswick and BC men, and BC got a 3 in the 6th end to go up 6-2 in that. There's some separation coming here. Ontario, same thing on the women's side. They've gone up 6-2 over Newfoundland. And Nova Scotia, big 3 ends, 3 points in 5 to go up 6-2 over New Brunswick. So there's been some change on the boards. And some separation, I guess, more so than anything.
Ontario just made the shot they call there. They did roll over, and they're now lying 2. Ontario is going to try to raise their own stone here. And get this just right. Move both of those. So
First skip stone for Ontario. Off it.
just a little bit.
Yeah, staying right off it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I don't need brushes.
That was,
Just let
that
me
was
throw
the
it.
way- Yeah.
Yeah.
So Northern
That's a
Ontario
big shot
just gonna
there.
draw down or throw some halfway to this and just hit that yellow. And, they are lying number 2, so move this one.
Yeah.
Roll. I don't know if they can actually nose it. It'd certainly be a nice shot.
Hit that, and get in behind cover too.
It's a long way to roll. Got to get right across it to do that, so I'm not sure if that's there, but
I think anything's possible,
anything's possible, especially from here.
especially from here. Obviously you have. When you see the rocks like that, I mean, we got a great view of it from up here. Not such a great view of it from in the hack. As they're trying to directional sweep on it,
Yeah.
picked it. But
So that didn't really
No.
work out the way they wanted. Didn't get it to finish, and maybe a little more weight than they actually needed there. But
well,
Ontario can just hit and roll here. Or
yeah.
they're,
And at the very least, they're going to only give up 1.
yeah. They can hit and roll and put this in behind cover, then force on.
That's a long
Ontario
way to
to
go.
draw again.
That's a long way to go.
Is it? I think it's possible this time, okay. Board weight here. Get a little roll over towards center.
Last shot for Skip for Ontario. 7th end. Up 5-3. Again, not laying a brush to it. He's been right on the money.
Straight on the nose.
Yeah. Just, I would love to.
Do the same
Got a
thing
little
here,
roll.
and we'll have a 1-point game going into the 8th end.
And Ontario will have a lead and the hammer.
Even the hammer, but the hammer
But
doesn't seem to be
the hammer doesn't seem to be a big.
advantage in this game.
Weiss, Northern Ontario's final shot. Needs to stay. Because Ontario's counting second, they've got 2nd and 3rd. He's got to be right on this. He's outside a bit, and there it is outside. That's a steal of 2.
Yeah.
That's a. That's going to be a tough one to come back on there. Just stayed outside, just didn't come in.
A little more weight than he needed there.
Yeah.
Which is always a tendency to just up the weight at the last second. A little push wishing it stays outside. Ontario's now leading by 4. 7-3 after 7 innings.
Yeah.
This
So-
one through, I think.
Yeah. Ontario goes up 7-3, and they have scored 7 points in a row.
7 straight points, yes. With a cluster of stones. But
And this,
saying all
and-
along,
and-
anything's possible.
yeah. Well, and this is the interesting thing. Where you had a video to review the games and the situations and stuff, because it was I mean, they were up 3-0, gave up 1 at the break. Okay, we get the hammer in 5,
Yeah.
and they just didn't.
On the wrong side of the inches. they
Yeah,
say.
yeah, just a little here, a little there, and as we all know, doesn't take much.
Setting up that long guard, they just got to get it across that hog line. That's the hardest guard to throw. Of course, with this much curl, it's hard to say what that's going to cover. See, we have a final over on sheet D with BC defeating New Brunswick 7-2.
I'll get to work on that, Larry.
Okay. I don't know what that means. It's working, but I've never heard
So
that
you be
expression.
so BC 7, New Brunswick 2 in men's play.
I think I said that.
What's that?
I think I said that.
I know. I just
Okay.
repeat that. I'm just for myself
Okay.
when I write it down.
Another long guard here.
So British Columbia will go to 4-0, and New Brunswick will go to 2-3. Saskatchewan, how is Saskatchewan men doing down in their under control Northwest Territories?
Appears that way from here. They're up 6-2 and
Yeah.
still playing in the 7th.
Because they're currently 3-0, so they could move to 4-0 too.
Ontario peeling off that guard. Just getting rid of granite here now.
So just an update on tomorrow, how these teams and where they be playing at. Tomorrow morning, Ontario men will be playing Saskatchewan. So that's a big game there for Ontario at 9 a.m. And Northern Ontario will be taking on the Northwest Territories, also at 9. And the Ontario men are back on the ice at 4 p.m. taking on Newfoundland on sheet 1. And Northern Ontario will be taking on New Brunswick on sheet 6, also at 4 o'clock.
Tomorrow's the last day of the round robin, as you had said earlier.
Yep.
So lots of things to be watching, lots of games that are going to mean something, and so I'm sure there'll be a lot of looking to see how their team can finish up in the playoffs and what they have to do. 2 wins tomorrow will make a big difference for a lot of teams. So good chance that everybody should stay tuned to all those games, because every one of them is going to mean something.
Well, Ontario, if this holds up, we'll move to 3-1. Northern Ontario will be 2-2.
So still not out of it at 2-2, I
No.
don't think, Keith. So
Oh, yes.
Northern Ontario coming down into the house here, going around that long guard. Got to generate 4 points here just to tie, so got to hope to keep some stones in play. Sure, Ontario will just go peel that guard off. Looked like it had just overcurled and he's open on the other side. Big thumbs up for everybody downstairs. one of those stones.
He's got it.
Yep. Northern Ontario down to the last 4 stones, so he's all going to count somehow, Keith. So once again, they'll try to go around that guard. Put it in the top.
They're on a hard sweeping.
Looks pretty good from here. Want it to curl just a little bit more, get in behind something. So he has to peel the guard.
Good work. Good work with the sweepers.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hard to score 4 here.
Yeah. It's a long raise.
Peeling that front guard, and it's pretty well all opened up.
Yep. Open her up.
Yeah,
Let the next guy.
that stone's going to remain wide open. I got to look for some misses now. And we'll try to draw in around that yellow guard that was just put up. It's not a whole lot of room there, but you can get one on the 12-foot. Just cleaning. The mate's done his job. He got both his stones in the house.
Yeah. Now it's up to Ontario to take out one of those, and that will do it.
Mathematically eliminate.
Just saying.
Just saying. Yeah.
How interesting this game started out. 3 straight points for Northern Ontario before the break. Ontario finally gets on the board. And then when they came back from the break, stole 6 points.
6 straight points, yeah.
Yeah, then I got food out of me.
So just has to remove this stone, and Dupree just has to remove this, and that'll be this another win in there. Just cleaning all the way down, so looks like they're just going to be in for handshakes.
Boom, right on. And that is it, folks. Ontario comes storming back in the second half of this this match to take it 7-3 over Northern Ontario. So we'll give one quick around the horn and call it a night for our folks watching. Saskatchewan, I think it's your turn. Sorry, I didn't want to take that.
It's always my turn when everybody's in front, but here we go.
Is there a cluster of people in front there?
So Saskatchewan, well, we can go with the ones we can see. We'll start in Sheet A with Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Nova Scotia leading that one 7-2. On Sheet C, we have in ladies Ontario leading Newfoundland 6-3 in the 8th. And we have 2 complete games. BC defeated New Brunswick 7-2. In men's and in women's, Manitoba beat the Yukon 6-1. That was close for a long time, Keith, but Manitoba actually finished that off quite well after the break, too. And over on Sheet F, we have Saskatchewan leading, I believe it's
Northwest Territories.
They're playing the Northwest Territories and just waiting for the thrower to lower the stone, and they're leading.
By a passionate community steeped in tradition and united in pride.